Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network presents another exciting edition of Inside Pitch Advanced. The 1980 All-Star Game is on the air. Today's date is July 8th, 1980, and we are at Dodger Stadium for the 1980 Midsummer Classic, the American League versus the National League. This is an exhibition game, so a few rules have been relaxed for baseball. First of all, there is no fatigue for the pitchers. They can pitch as long as they want, whatever. Batters and pitchers that leave the game can come back after all other players have been used. One of the rules of Inside Pitch has range play rolls of 8 are successful for the home team. Range play rolls of 8 will be successful for either side. Since this is an exhibition game, it will not matter who rolls for it. If you roll an 8, they will make the play. So range play rolls of 8 are successful for both teams, not just the home team in this exhibition game. As I said, this is exhibition. If this does go extra innings, ghost runners will begin in the 10th inning and later. So that is what we got here and of course, I may make some interesting decisions with the strategy roll, because it's a game that doesn't mean anything. But we'll see what happens tonight. Ben Witz and Ernest Cruz are first to join us here at Dodger Stadium. The National League historically won this game 4-2. Both teams had 7 hits. The American League had 2 errors. So tonight we have the All-Star game between the American League and the National League. We are here at Dodger Stadium, and I will be bringing in substitutions probably after each starter has had at least 2 times at bat. And then I'll bring in the substitutions by virtue of their position in the lineup. So usually I kind of did an odd and an even thing. I already have the lineups set for what I want to do here. So we're going to do it. So we're going to hopefully we'll have some fun. The lovely Barbara joins us here at Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium was pretty much neutral, but did favor hitters. So there is some home runs here on the card. There is a chance to rob a home run. There are chances of robbing a home run here. So we'll see what happens as we play the All-Star game. So without further ado, it is time for the Midsummer Classic, the American League and the National League, as we are now halfway through the 1980 season. Let's get right to it. Starting pitcher for the National League from the Houston Astros, J.R. Richard. He will get the call tonight. I'm not going to call out their stats for the year like I usually do in a regular season game. And J.R. Richard will get the call. We're going to use blue, white, and white dice. Since Dodger Stadium is the home park, we will use the Dodger colors. So if everybody is set and ready to go, the American League and the National League, the 1980 All-Star Game at Dodger Stadium, and anything can happen when I do an All-Star Game, and usually does. Let's go to the top of the first. Leading off for the American League, second baseman from the New York Yankees, Willie Randolph. Fans here at Dodger Stadium are ready for a big one. This should be there's a lot of good talent here in this 1980 All-Star game. So let's see what happens. You never know what may happen here when I do an All-Star game. Well, let's see what the dice decide. Let's go to the first pitch. Richard, 5'7", strikeout plus 14, and yes, he'll get Randolph. Struck him out. First strikeout for Richard, 1 down. Next up is the first baseman from the California Angels, Rod Carew, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. Richard will go ahead and deal. Richard, 5'3", that's a pitcher result. Pitcher result against a lefty, and 11 is going to be a blank. Carew, a 4-6, and that's going to be a base hit to center field. Carew will lead off the hitting for the American League with a hit to center. And now we will see on 1 second here. Timeout for 1 second. Hold a minute. I may have made a mistake in my batting order. Hold on a minute. I want to make sure I'm not seeing anything. Hold on. Let me look at the lineups real quick. Did I make an error? Yeah, I did. It's Fred Lynn. I forgot so Fred Lynn was in there. So hold on. Timeout, as usual. I usually get those mistakes. So Lynn. What was it? It was Lynn, Jackson, Ogilvy, Fisk, Metals. That's right. So Brett is supposed to be here. Okay, and that will be it there. Okay. That's fixed. That's fixed. Okay. Should have paid more attention. Doug Hunt joins us here at Dodger Stadium. Next batter for the American League, center fielder from the Boston Red Sox, Freddie Lynn. Carew on at first, infield a double play. Strategy roll, that is an 8 and nothing happening. Richard will pitch. Richard, 3-4. Again, pitcher result. Again, that is a 10. Against the lefty, it'll be a blank. Lynn, 2-2. That's a line drive to second. That's going to be out number 2. That's a 17. I think Carew is going to get back to first, and he will. Carew will get back to first on the line out, and that's out number 2. So line out to second. And now the right fielder from the New York Yankees, Reggie Jackson. Carew on at first. We are at the National League ballpark. Pitchers, there is no designated hitter rule. There is no DH for this game. Strategy, nothing on the 19. Richard, 4-8, strikeout 13, and got him. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Second strikeout for Richard. No runs and a hit for the Americans. And we'll go to the bottom of the first. Starting pitcher for the American League from the Baltimore Orioles, Steve Stone. He gets the call here to start this one. Leading off for the National League, second baseman from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Davey Lopes, and he gets a great ovation from the Dodger Stadium crowd. Stone will pitch. 6-2 against a righty, strikeout 13 will miss. Lopes, a 5-4, and that will be a fly to center field. It'll be an easy play for Fred Lynn, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Next batter is the center fielder from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Reggie Smith. Definitely Hall of Very Good. Some people think Hall of Fame. Stone will deal. Stone, 8-7, that's a blank. Smith, 4-6, and that is a fly ball to right field, and that'll be grabbed by Reggie, and that'll be out number 2. Next batter is the right fielder from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Dave Parker. Stone will go ahead and deal. Stone, 6-5 against the lefty, walk. 10 is going to be too high. Parker, Cobra, 4-4. And that's a ground ball to short. That'll be taken care of by Bucky Dent. And he'll throw it over to first and retire to side. Of course, Parker just put in the Hall of Fame. Should have been put in long ago. 1-2-3, go the Nationals. No score after 1. We go to the top of the second. Leading off for the American League, left fielder from the Milwaukee Brewers, Ben Ogilvy. Richard will pitch. Richard, 1-1, strikeout plus. He'll get Ogilvy. That's the third K for Richard, 1 down. Next up is the catcher from the Boston Red Sox, Pudge Carlton Fisk. One of the greatest catchers of all time, of course. Richard will deal. Richard, 6-1, range play at the park. Dodger Stadium, 2-5, and that is going to be a ground ball. That's a ground ball to short. That ball is hit to Bill Russell. His range is a 5. That's a 2. Russell will go ahead and get that, and throw it over to first for out number 2. Next batter is the third baseman from the New York Yankees, Greg Nettles. He got the call at third base to be the starter in this game. Not George Brett, but Brett is in the lineup. Richard, 4-8, strikeout, 17 will be too high. Nettles, 3-5, and that is a fly to left field. And getting over there will be Dave King McCong Kingman. And he will make the catch and retire the side. 1, 2, 3. Go the AL. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Leading off for the National League, first baseman from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Steve Garvey. Some people think he still belongs in the Hall. Stone will deal. 5-7. Range play 12. That's a 4. Yes. Garvey, 5-6. That's a fly to center field. Going after that is Fred Lynn. His range is a 5. That's a 7. He's not going to get it. And this is going to be a double off of Steve Stone. His range play is a 1-8 double, and that will be a double for Garvey. Garvey will get to second on a range play double. And that will bring up the catcher from the Cincinnati Reds, Mr. Johnny Bench. Some people say the greatest catcher of all time. You got Yogi Berra, but you can still make an argument for Bench. Strategy roll for Garvey. That is a 20. Nothing happening. Stone, 2-6. Range play 12. That's a 10. It's a range play. Bench, 3-7. That's a ground ball to short. That ball is hit to Bucky Dent. His range is a 6. That's a 5. He'll get it, and he'll throw it over to first for the out. And Garvey will move to third. So that will be a ground out to short. It'll move Garvey over to third base. And that is out number 1. And now the left fielder from the Chicago Cubs, Dave King Kong Kingman. He got the call in left field for this game as a starter. Infield's going to play in. These teams would like to still win the game. Strategy roll for Garvey. That is a 10, and nothing happening there. Stone will pitch. Stone, 7-4. Wild pitch, 15. Wow, that just missed a pass ball. Kingman, 6-4, and it's a fly ball to center field. Grabbing that will be Lynn. Lynn will make the catch for out number 2. Kingman, a 17 for a sacrifice fly. That's an 11. That's going to be good. Garvey will come in to score. It's 1-0 National League. So Kingman will get an RBI for bringing in Garvey. Sacrifice fly for him. That'll bring up the third baseman from the St. Louis Cardinals, Ken Reitz. 2 outs now, but the National League leads 1-0. Yes, all 8s are successful no matter what, which makes sense to me in an all-star game. Stone, 6-8. That is a blank. Reitz, 1-6. And against a righty, it's a fly ball to left. And getting to that will be Ogilvy. And he will make the catch, retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, and a sacrifice fly. 1-0 National League after 2. We go to the third. Leading off for the American League, the shortstop from the New York Yankees, Bucky Bleeping Dent. Every Red Sox fan's favorite player. Richard will pitch to Dent. Richard, 6-8. Error on a booted ball. Dent, 4-2. That's going to be a fly out. A fly ball to center. And grabbing that will be Reggie Smith. And he'll make the catch for out number 1. Steve Stone due to bat, but pitchers are not batting in this game. We will go to our first pinch hitter. And in this case also pinch hitting rules and all that stuff are also relaxed. Even if they didn't bat against a certain handedness, they can come in. So coming on to bat for the American League will be from the Milwaukee Brewers, Paul Molitor. Molitor will pinch hit for Stone as he will now leave the game. Richard will go ahead and he will pitch. Richard, 8-1 against the righty. That is a strikeout plus. That's an 18, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. That is the fourth strikeout for J.R. Richard in this All-Star game. In this All-Star game, 2 down. And that will bring up Randolph. The starters get at least 2 turns in the get at least 2 turns at bat. Then I'll start bringing in relievers. Richard, 3-2 against the righty. That's going to be an automatic out. It'll be a ground ball to short. That'll be handled by Bill Russell, and Russell will toss it over and retire the side. 1-2-3 inning go the American League. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Leading off for the National League, the shortstop from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Bill Russell. Come on to pitch. I also have a schedule to bring in pitchers. Coming on to pitch now for the American League from the Kansas City Royals, Larry Gura. As I said, I don't care about handedness or anything like that. This is an all-star game. It doesn't really matter. The game means nothing. Gura, 7-4. That's going to be an automatic out, and it will be a fly to left field, and that'll be grabbed by Ogilvy, and that will be the first out. Remember, I can have batters and pitchers come back if necessary. J.R. Richard is done for the game, and we'll see a pinch hitter against Gura, and it will be from the Pittsburgh Pirates, scrap iron, Phil Garner. Gura will go ahead and pitch to Garner. Gura, 2-4, walk, 19 will miss. Garner, a 7-1, that's a grounder right back to the pitcher. Gura's going to go ahead and take care of that. And over to first it goes, 2 down. And the next batter will be Lopes. Lopes is 0-1. Gura deals. Gura, 2-8 against a righty, walk, 20 will just miss. Lopes, 3-8, and with no runners in scoring position, that is a base hit to right field. Gura, a 1-7, he'll turn that into an out. That's a 5, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a fly out to right field instead. As Larry Gura had a good turns that single into an out, it'll be a fly to right, and Reggie Jackson is going to go ahead and get there, and he'll make the catch and retire the side. 1-2-3 go the National League. Still 1-0 here after 3. We go to the fourth. Leading off for the American League will be Rod Carew. He got a single his first time up. Next National League pitcher scheduled is going to be from the Philadelphia Phillies, lefty Steve Carlton, one of the greatest of all time. Carlton will go ahead and pitch. Carlton, 5-7, strikeout, and that is a 7, and he got him. Struck him out. 1 man down, and now the batter is Lynn. Lynn is 0-1. Funny, lefty comes in, and there are 3 lefties for the American League coming up. Lefty, 1-6 against the lefty. Strikeout, 16 will miss. Lynn, 2-5. That's a fly to right field. An easy play for Cobra. And Parker will get that for out number 2. Here's Reggie. Reggie is 0-1. Lefty will deal. Lefty, 6-6. Strikeout, 15. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Lefty takes care of business. And that is the 6th strikeout of American League batters. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Nothing across. Leading off for the National League, Reggie Smith, new pitcher coming in for the American League. And the next pitcher I have scheduled will be Tommy John from the New York Yankees. Tommy John will now pitch. He will pitch the 4th inning. And he will go up against Smith. Bottom of the fourth, 1-0 favor of the National League. John will deal. John, 3-2, wild pitch at the blank. Smith, 8-1, fly ball center field, easy play for Fred Lynn. And he'll make the catch for out number 1. Here's Cobra, Parker 0 for 1. John will deal. John, they named a surgery after him. John, and I believe it or not, I think they should put Tommy John in the Hall of Fame because of that reason, or at least not in the main hall, but maybe Hall of the Eternals or something like that. Kind of like Jim Abbott. Jim Abbott is actually in the Hall of the Eternals or the Reliquaries or something like that. He actually is there. 4-3 against the lefty. Strikeout 9. He'll get Parker. He strikes out Parker. That is the first strikeout for American National League batters. Next up is Garvey. Garvey got a double his first time up. John will deal. John, 2-8. Strikeout, 17 is too high. Garvey, 3-1. That's fly to center field, and that will be Fred Lynn again getting to that. He'll make the catch, retire the side. 1, 2, 3, go the National League. 1-0 after 4. Very fast-moving game so far. We go to the top of the 5th. Ben Ogilvy will bat for the second time. Carlton is done. Ogilvy is 0 for 1. And the next pitcher I have scheduled for the National League from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Jerry Rolls-Royce. He will go ahead and pitch this 5th inning. Royce will deal. Royce, 8-3, strikeout 8, and he got him, struck him out. That is the 7th strikeout of American League batters. Next batter is Pudge. Pudge is 0 for 1. The old Pudge. Royce will deal. Rolls-Royce, 6-5. That's an automatic out. It'll be a grounded to third base, picked up there by Ken Reitz. And he'll throw it over to first for out number 2. Here's Nettles. Nettles is 0 for 1. Royce will deal. Royce, 8-7. Wild pitch. It's a blank. Nettles, 4-6. And that's a fly to center field. And again, once again, Fred Lynn. No, this time center field. That's going to be caught by Smith. And Smith will go ahead and make the catch and retire the side. 1, 2, 3. Go the American League. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Mr. Johnny Bench leads off for the National League. John is now done for now, in case we need him to come back. Next pitcher for the American League will be from the Toronto Blue Jays, Dave Stieb. He got the call for the American League in the 1980 All-Star game. Stieb will pitch this 5th inning. Joe Turney joins us here at Dodger Stadium. Stieb will deal. Stieb, 7-8. Range play 13. That's an 8. Yes. Bench, 6-1. That's a ground ball to short. That ball is hit to Bucky Dent. His range is a 6. That's a 1. Dent will go ahead and get that and throw it over to first, and that will be out number 1. Next batter is Kingman. Kong is 0 for 1, but he does have a sacrifice fly. He has the only RBI in this game so far. Stieb, 2-1, walk, 8, and no, that just missed. Kingman, 7-2, fly ball to left, and grabbing that will be Ogilvy, and he'll make that catch for out number 2. Next batter is Reitz. Reitz is 0 for 1. Stieb will go ahead and pitch. Stieb, 8-7, range play 13. That's a 13. It's a range play. Reitz, 2-7. It's popped up to second base, and that's going to be a range play for Randolph. His range is a 5. That's an 8. He will make the catch, and that's the side retired. Remember, in this exhibition game, all range play rolls of 8, no matter what side you're on, the range play will be good. And in this case, that is an 8. Randolph makes the catch, And that will be a pop out to second, and that's another 1-2-3 inning. 1-0 National League after 5. Cutter Historical joins us here at Dodger Stadium. We go to the top of the 6th. New pitcher coming in for the National League. Next pitcher I have scheduled is from the San Francisco Giants, Vita Blue, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Leading off for the American League, Bucky Dent. It's his second at bat. Blue will go ahead and he will pitch. And, of course, I can't get dice in the hole. Blue, let's see, 7-5, walk, 19 will be too high. Dent, a 3-5, that's a fly to center field. An easy play for Smith. And Smith will make the catch for out number 1. Pinch hitter coming in for Steve. And they will go to the bench here for the American League. And it will be from the Milwaukee Brewers, Cecil Cooper. He will go ahead and pinch hit. Cooper will bat here. Top of the 6th, 1-0 National League. Blue, 1-8. It's a blank. Cooper, 7-4. And that is a fly to center field. Another easy play for Reggie Smith. And that's going to be out number 2. Willie Randolph coming out of the game. We will have a new, I believe I have another second baseman scheduled. We'll have another second baseman coming in, and it will be from the California Angels, Bobby Grich. He will now take over second base. Blue will deal. Blue, 8-8 error on a booted ball. Grich, 5-6, and against the lefty. That's a ground ball to third. And that ball is hit to Reitz. His error rating is a 5. That's a 12. Reitz will not make an error. He will go ahead and throw it over to first and retire the side. 1-2-3 goes the American League. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Leading off for the National League will be Bill Russell. He is 0 for 1. New pitcher coming in for the American League. And it will be from the Seattle Mariners, Rick Honeycutt. He will come on to pitch. Honeycutt will pitch to Russell here. Bottom of the 6th, 1-0 National League. Honeycutt, 6-5. That's at the park. Dodger Stadium, 6-2. That is a possible home run to right. Russell is a 12. Plus 2 makes him a 14. That's a 10. And that one is gone. Kaboom! That ball is high. That ball is deep. And that ball is gone. Home run, Bill Russell. Stadium cheers. Yay! Bill Russell only had 3 home runs in 1980, but he gets one there. A 6-2 is a home run to right. And against the lefty, Russell is a 12 with bases empty. Plus 2 is a 14. That's a 10. And Russell will go ahead and round the bases. It's 2-0 National League. Pinch hitter coming in for Vita Blue. And the next batter from the Atlanta Braves, Dale Murphy. He will go ahead and pinch hit for Blue here. 2-0 National League. Honeycutt will deal. Honeycutt, 6-5, again at the park. Dodger Stadium, 8-1. That's a ground ball to first. That'll be handled there by Carew, and he'll take it to the bag himself for the first out. Let's see here. Checking the schedule I have. Davey Lopes will continue to stay in the game as the best second baseman I have. So Lopes is actually going to bat for a third time. So Davey Lopes will come on to bat again. He is 0 for 2. Honeycutt will pitch. Honeycutt, 4-3 against the righty. It's a blank. Lopes, 7-7 against the lefty. That's a double into center field. Lopes will smack one into center. He'll wind up at second with his first hit. And now Reggie Smith coming out of the game and coming on to take over at center field from the San Diego Padres, Mr. May, Dave Winfield, Hall of Famer, absolutely. Lopes on at second, strategy roll. That's a 20. He'll stay put. Honeycutt, a 4-1, strikeout 20. That will miss. Winfield, 1-6. That is a base hit past third. Will Lopes score? Single past third. And yes, Lopes will come around. He will score. It's 3-0 American League. Stadium cheers. Yay! RBI single for Winfield, and now 3-0 National League. Honeycutt not having a good outing here. Dave Parker coming out of the game, now taking over in right field. From the Cincinnati Reds, Ken Griffey. Infield is set for double play. 3-0 National League. Strategy rolls are still on, and nothing on the 16. Honeycutt will pitch. Honeycutt, 8-1. That's an automatic out. It'll be a ground ball to third. Will that be a double play? And that's a 17. Hit to third is a 0. Honeycutt +2 was a 19. And Griffey is a 16 plus. That is going to be a 5-4-3 double play. And that will end the inning. 2 runs on 3 hits. A solo bomb by Bill Russell. And it's 3-0 National League after 6. We go to the 7th. And let's see what we got here. And coming on to bat for the American League is going to be Rod Carew. He's going to bat again. Rod Carew is going to make a third. He's going to bat again. He's 1 for 2. Need a new pitcher for the National League. And that is going to be from the San Francisco Giants, Eddie Whitson. He will get the call here and pitch the 7th. 3-0 National League, rapidly moving game. We're already in the 7th inning, only 30 minutes into the stream. Whitson, 5-5, walk 8, and that's ball 4. He walked Carew. So Carew will trot the first on a walk. And the next batter coming in to pinch hit coming and take over at center field from the Baltimore Orioles, Al Bumbry. He will go ahead and take over for Fred Lynn in center. Infield a double play, 3-0 National League. Strategy rolls are still active. That is a 1. That is a 1. Carew he does get the jump. But I don't know if he would really steal here. I think down 3-0, even though I could use the strategy rolls hard and fast, but I really don't see Carew stealing here. Whitson will go ahead and pitch. Whitson, 2-4 against the lefty. It's a blank. Bumbry, a 6-8, and that's going to be a ground ball to short, and that's hit to Russell. Let's see, that is a 3. Hit to short, +1 is a 4. Whitson, -1 is a 3. No chance of a double play. Actually, Rod Carew has good speed. The play is going to be at first, and that will be out number 1. So Carew will get to second base on a grounder to short. Reggie Jackson coming out of the game, now coming into play right field for the American League. From the Boston Red Sox, Jim Rice, one of the greatest of all time. Carew on at second. Strategy roll, and nothing on the 10. Carew stays put. Whitson, An 8-3 walk. 8. And wow. Rice against righties is 6. That's an 8. He doesn't walk him. Rice, 5-5. That's a grounder right back to Whitson. Whitson's got it. And let's see if Carew still tries to go to third. He doesn't, and he's actually gonna make it to third. The throw will go to first for the out. That's 2 down. So Carew does go to third on the grounder hit to Whitson. And now coming into play left field from the Oakland Athletics, Ricky Henderson, greatest leadoff hitter in baseball history. Henderson will go up against Whitson here. 3-0 National League. Strategy roll. Carew will stay where he is. Whitson, 6-7. Strikeout, 15 will be too high. Henderson, 7-6. It's a ground ball to short. Once again picked up by Bill Russell. And the throw goes to first. And the inning is over. Nothing across except the walk. The National League is pitching a one-hitter here. And we are already at the 7th inning stretch. Sing, take me out to the ball game. I'll be right back. Of course, we have no 10-minute ticker tonight. There will be no baseball tomorrow night. The second half of my All-Star break is tomorrow night. There will be no baseball. We will return with the beginning of the second half of the 1980 season on Wednesday. And we're going to County Stadium as the Boston Red Sox will take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Mike Torres will be going for the Red Sox, and Reggie Cleveland will be pitching for the Brewers. The Brewers are the last team in the second schedule block to have not been seen since. So we will finish the second schedule block on Wednesday. We start the second half of the season then. The Red Sox and the Brewers, that will be Wednesday night here on the network. Beatles Eternally joins us here at Dodgers Stadium. It don't come easy there, Beatles Eternally. Ringo Starr, that counts. Bottom of the 7th, new pitcher coming in for the American League. And the next pitcher I have scheduled is from the Boston Red Sox, Tom Bergmeyer. He will go ahead and pitch here. And let's see. We have a new first baseman coming in for the National League, coming in to pinch hit and now take over first base. From the Philadelphia Phillies, Mr. Pete Rose. Bergmeyer will pitch to Rose. Bergmeyer, 8-6, error on a booted ball. Rose, 7-4. That's a double to right field. Rose is going to get a double to right fielder for the American League is Jim Rice. His error rating is a 0. He will not make an error. Rose will hold at second base. Next up for the National League, now taking over at catcher from the Montreal Expos, the kid, Gary Carter, one of the best catchers ever. Rose on at second. Bergmeyer will pitch. Strategy rolls are still active, and nothing on the 13. Bergmeyer, 6-1, strikeout 10. That will miss. Carter, a 7-3. It's a fly to right field. That'll be grabbed by Rice. Rice will make the catch for out number 1. Does Rose take third? A 7-8, and he will 7-8. I believe that will. It was hit to right field. Yes, Rose will make the third. It was hit to right, so that will be out number 1. But Carter will get there. Kingman is out at left field, taking over and now playing left field for the National League from the Houston Astros, Jose Cruz. Cruz will now take over in left. The infield is in for the American League. Down 3-0, hoping maybe they can do something here. Bergmeyer will pitch, strategy roll. Nothing on the 4. Rose stays put. Bergmeyer, 8-1. Wild pitch, 13. No, it's a blank. Cruz, 8-3. That's a base hit past first. The National League will get a run. Rose will come in to score. Cruz will get a hit. It's now 4-0 National League. The National League does have its 4 runs it had gotten in this game, historically. Stadium cheers. Yay! So now infield goes back to double play. National League now a 4-0 lead. Ken Reitz is done at third, and now taking over at third base for the National League from the Cincinnati Reds, Ray Knight. Cruz on it first. Infield is a double play. Strategy rolls are now off. Bergmeyer, 2-4 against a righty. It's a blank. Knight, 4-8, and that's fly to center. And that'll be Al Bunbury getting to that. And that will be out number 2. Bill Russell coming out at short and taking over shortstop from the Cincinnati Reds, Dave Concepcion. Cruz on at first. Bergmeyer will pitch. Bergmeyer, 8-1, wild pitch. This time that is a wild pitch, and Cruz will go to second. Wild pitch by Bergmeyer, and now Cruz gets to second, and Bergmeyer will do it again. Bergmeyer, 6-7 against a righty. It's a blank. Concepcion, 6-5. That's a grounder to second base. That'll be handled by Gritch, and Gritch will throw it over to first, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits and a wild pitch. National League leads 4-0 after 7. We go to the 8th. Whitson is done for the National League. New pitcher coming out for them. And coming on to pitch for the National League from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Bob Welch. He will go ahead and pitch. Coming on now to play catcher for the American League from the Detroit Tigers, Lance Parrish. He will go up against Welch to start the top of the 8th. 4-0 National League. The National League pitching has allowed only 1 hit in this game. Welch, 4-1, error on a grounder. Parrish, 7-3. That is a ground ball. It's a ground ball to third. That ball is hit to Knight. Knight's error rating is a 7. That's a 2, and that's going to be an error on Knight. Knight will commit an error. Coming in there at third base, he'll commit an error, and that is going to be an E5. First error on the National League. They did not have any errors in the game historically. Infield set up for double play. And now coming in to play third base for the American League from the Kansas City Royals, Mr. George Brett, one of the greatest of all time. Parrish on at first. Welch will deal. Welch, 4-3 walk. That's ball 4. And now Welch is in some trouble here. Nobody out, top of the 8th. And now coming in for the American League and now to take over at shortstop will be Robin Yount from the Milwaukee Brewers. I'll say Buddy Bell for third. So now Robin Yount will now bat with runners at first and second. No one out, top of the 8th. National League leads 4-0 here at Dodger Stadium. Welch will set up. Yount gets ready. Anything can happen in an all-star game. Welch, 5-4, walk, 8, and no, that's going to be too high. Yount, an 8-7. It's a fly ball to right field, and that will be handled by Griffey. Griffey will make the catch for out number 1. Does Parrish go to third? And a 2-2, I don't think he does. And advances if he's 2-7. Actually, he does. Parrish will make third base. Advances if he's 2-7, and he's a 3, so he will make it to third. And that's out number 1. Pinch hitter coming in for Bergmeyer. And that is going to be from the Texas Rangers, Buddy Bell, who some people think should be in the Hall. I don't think so, but definitely Hall the very good. Buddy Bell. He will pinch hit now for the pitcher. Infield is going to play. Infield's going to play corners. They're going to play double play depth. Bell hits into a lot of double plays. Parrish on at third, Brett on at first, plus the National League is a 4-run lead. Welch will deal. Welch. 3-7 error on a booted ball. Bell. 3-6, and that's powered into center field. That's a 16, and against the righty, it's going to hang up there, and it's going to be caught for an out. Fly out to center is out number 2. Bell, a sacrifice fly of 0, so no chance for him of a sacrifice fly. Does Parrish come in on his own? 1-1, and yes, he will. Parrish will come in on his own, and Brett will take second on the throw because that 1 is low. It advances with the trailing runner. So Brett will go to second. It's now 4-1. The American League is on the board. Stadium cheers. Yay! Actually, that was the third out, wasn't it? That was the third out. You had it reached on an error, then Brett, reached on an error. Reached on an error, right? No, that isn't. No, wait a minute. I'm trying to think. Was that the third out? Jeez, these All-Star. I always have issues with this with the All-Star game. Let's see. The catcher, Parrish, reached on an error. Then Brett reached on an error. Brett, no, that's second out. No, it is second out. Okay, so it's 4-1. Brett now on at second, and we'll see let's see 4-1, and the next batter for the American League will be Gritch. He'll bat again. Gritch, the second base spot is 0-3. So now 4-1 with Welch here, with Brett on at second. Still pretty interesting here. Strategy rolls are still off. Welch, 7-6. Range play 12. That's a 10. It's a range play. Gritch, 5-1. And that is a ground ball to third. That ball is hit to Ray Knight. His range is a 3. Nope, he's not going to get it. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to be an automatic range play base single because Welch did not give up doubles. And since there's 2 outs, Brett will come around. He will score. It's 4-2. We have now reached the historical score of the game. So now 4-2 with Gritch on at second. And coming on to bat will be, taking over first base will be Al Oliver from the Texas Rangers. Al Oliver will come up to bat here. Now 4-2 with 2 outs. Second base is up for first base now. So that is a RBI single. So now here's Oliver, who some people think should be in the Hall of Fame. Gritch on at second. Welch will pitch. Strategy rolls are back on. Nothing on the 6. And Welch will deal. Welch, 1-3, walk. That's ball, and that is ball 4. He walked him. So Welch now walks Al Oliver. Runners at first and second. And coming into play center field from the Cleveland Indians will be George Orta. And he will bat here. So George Orta, one of the more underrated players in baseball history, and he will bat. Bob Welch has already given up two runs here. Of course, remember, I'm not doing fatigue. And the question is now, how many pitchers I got left here to bring in for the American League? I got 3 of them. Bibby, Suter, and Tekulve. I would like Welch to get through the inning, and then I'll bring in the relievers. So Gritch on at second, Oliver on at first. Welch trying to get out of the inning. If he gives up another run, I will yank him. 4-2 National League. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 19. Welch will deal. Welch, 4-7 against the lefty. Walk, and that is ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So now the bases are loaded here. Another walk. And the next batter is going to be Jim Rice. He will bat again. And that is it for Welch. He is coming out. The National League will go to the bullpen. And coming on to pitch for the National League, at least right now, will be the Goose is Loose. Oh, not National League. I'm sorry. Wrong batter. Wrong side here. Not Gossage. What am I doing here? Always have this issue. From the Pittsburgh Pirates will be Jim Bibby. Bibby will come on to pitch, try to get 1 out. So Jim Bibby from the Pirates will pitch here. 2 outs, top of the 8th, 4-2, but the American League is threatening. Rice at the plate. Anything can happen in an all-star game, especially when I seem to lose track of stuff, which always happens. I try to not do it, but it still always happens. Bibby will pitch, strategy roll, and nothing on the 9. Bibby, 8-2, strikeout 3, swing and a miss, struck him out. He'll get Rice, and that will end the inning. 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 walks. 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. New pitcher from the American League will be from the New York Yankees. Rich Goose Gossage. The Goose is loose. He will go ahead and pitch this bottom of the 8th inning. Pinch hitter coming in for Jim Bibby. He is done. We'll see a new batter here, and it will be pinch hitting for the National League will be Keith Hernandez from the St. Louis Cardinals, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Gossage will go up against Hernandez. Bottom of the 8th, 4-2 National League. Gossage, 7-6, strikeout 14 will be too high. Hernandez, 4-1, popped out to second, and that'll be Gritch to get that. And that will be the first out. Coming up to bat will be Davey Lopes. I do have sometimes I do have players that are able to play the entire game due to the setup I have. Lopes is going to bat for his 4th time. Lope and of course, being a Dodger does help out here at Dodger Stadium. Gossage will deal. Gossage, 4-2 against a righty. Walk plus. And that 8 is ball 4. He walked Lopes. So Lopes reaches base again. And Dave Winfield coming out. And coming in at center field from the St. Louis Cardinals, George Hendrick. Infield set for double play. 4-2 National League. The actual score of this game. Strategy rolls are still active. And that is a 10, nothing happening. Gossage will deal. Gossage, 7-6, strikeout 16, that's too high. Hendrick, 2-5, ground ball to third. That's a 7. Hit the third, a 0. Gossage plus 3 is a 10. That's a 9+, and that is going to be a 5-4-3 double play. and the inning is over. Nothing across except the walk. 4-2 National League after 8. But will we see some ninth inning all-star magic? We have seen that before. Coming on to pitch for the National League will be from the Chicago Cubs, Bruce Sutter, who pretty much invented the save statistic. There are 2 other players that have not made it into the game, and I'm going to put them into defense. Coming in to take over at catcher from the New York Mets will be John Stearns, and taking over third base from the Philadelphia Phillies will be Mike Schmidt. So they will come on. They will at least be on the field. Kent Tekulve is the last pitcher for the National League. Player for the National League I've yet to use. And let's see what we're going to do for the American League. Kenny Landreau will now take over in left field for the American League from the Minnesota Twins. Sutter will pitch to Landreau. Top of the ninth, 4-2 National League. Sutter, 8-3 walk, and that's ball 4. He walked him. Sutter will go ahead and walk Landreau. And the next batter taking over at catcher for the American League from the Kansas City Royals, Darryl Porter. He will now come on to bat. 4-2. Landreau on at first. Porter does have a light home run power. Strategy rolls are off. Sutter, 4-1, strikeout, got him. And he will get Porter. 1 down. Now taking over. Let's see here. Nope. And now coming on will be Brett. Brett will bat again. Brett is 0 for 3. Landreau, well, not 0 for 3, but Brett is up there in the third base. The third base position is 0 for 3. Landreau on at first, 1 out. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 16, although I didn't need to roll a strat. Sutter will pitch. Sutter, 5-1, it's a blank. Brett, 5-4, base hit left field. That'll be a single to left. Landreau will take third. A 5-7, and he will hold. Or will he hold? Left fielder for the... no, actually, he'll make it to third. Holds if his arm rating is a 7, and left fielder Jose Cruz has an arm rating of 4. Landreau will make third. So the tying runs are on. And now the batter is taking over at shortstop from the Detroit Tigers, Alan Trammell. He will take over for Yount. So now all American League batters have played in the game. Question is Sutter going to pitch to Trammell, or do I bring in Tekulve? I'm gonna go ahead and see if Sutter can get one of these outs. Infield's going to be a double play depth. The runner on third doesn't mean anything. Sutter will pitch to Trammell. Sutter, 8-6, pickoff, 5, and he's called for a balk. Sutter is called for a balk. An 8-6 is a pickoff at the park. The 5 calls it a balk, and a run will score, and the tying runs at second base. Brett goes to second. It's now 4-3 as Sutter balks in a run. Stadium cheers. Yay! And now the tying run is at second base. And the question is, do you walk Trammell and put? I don't think you put the go-ahead run on base. Sutter will pitch to him, but now the double play is gone. Sutter will pitch to Trammell. Strategy rolls are back on. Nothing on the 5. Brett stays put. Sutter will deal. Sutter, 4-2, error, foul, grounder at the park. Dodger Stadium, 2-8, and against the righty, Trammell, home run to left field. Trammell against the righty is a 9. +3 from Suter makes him a 12. That's a 2. And guess what? The American League just took the lead. Kaboom! That ball is high. That ball is deep. That ball is gone. Home run, Alan Trammell. 9th inning All-Star Game magic strikes again. Stadium cheers. Yay! A 2-8 Trammell, a right-hander, and that is a home run to left. Against righties, a 9 with runners on base +3 is a 12. That's a 2. If it was a 1, it may have had a chance to be robbed. But the American League takes a 5-4 lead. That'll be it for Suter. And coming on to pitch for the National League from the Pittsburgh Pirates will be Kent Tecovey. All-American and National League pitchers have been used. So give me a second here to bring them back into the lineup. So if I need them, I can use them. And now I'll just make choices if necessary for the positions. But now Kent Tecovey will pitch, and we'll see a pinch hitter for Gossage as he's gone. And now coming on to pinch hit, believe it or not, all the American League batters have been used. So we will give me a second here to get the American League batters all set. And I'll choose the American League batter I want to bring in. Remember, this is an exhibition game. It doesn't matter who wins. So, let's see who has the highest average. 350. I'll go by averages. 352, I think, was the highest. I'll go by averages. Coming on to pinch hit for the American League will be Paul Molitor. Molitor will pinch hit against Tecovey here in the top of the ninth. 5-4 American League. There's still only one out. D. Scott Howard and Clee baseball fan and Will Swingle join us here at Dodger Stadium. Tecovey will pitch. Tecovey, 7-8 against a righty. That's going to be a base hit past third. Molitor will go ahead and get a single. And that is the third hit of this inning. And now the batter is Gritch. But he has batted twice. So out he comes. And Willie Randolph will take over again at second base. Infield, a double play depth. Molitor on it first. Strategy roll. And that is a 2. Molitor gets the jump. 17 plus 1 is 18. And the catcher, Stearns, is 0. A 1-18. Molitor tries to steal second, and he will. Molitor will move into second base, and I think that's the right call. Stolen base from Molitor. And now he's at second. That takes a double play out. Re-rolling a strat. Molitor will stay put. Tecovey will deal. Tecovey, 5-2. Error on a booted ball. Randolph, 4-8. And that is a line drive to short. That is out number 2. And Molitor is on second base in a line. That is a 2. And Molitor gets back. A 4-9, he would have been out. So Molitor gets back. It's a line out. 2 men down. And now coming in to play left field and take over for Al Oliver will be Ben Ogilvy. Ogilvy comes up to bat. The second, is it first base spot? No, actually, no, he'll bat. Tecovey will go ahead and he will pitch. Tecovey, 4-1, strikeout, no. Ogilvy, 2-6. It's a ground ball to third. That'll be handled there by Schmidt. Schmidt will throw to first and retire the side. 9th inning magic strikes again. 3 runs on on 3 hits, a walk and a balk, a huge 2-run bomb by Alan Trammell. And now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Cecil Cooper will take over at first base. The new catcher, once again, will be Pudge. He'll take over at catcher again. The rest of the lineup will stay as it is. As we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. New pitcher for the American League. And it is going to be, coming on to pitch for the American League, will be the only pitcher who has not seen the game yet. From the Chicago White Sox, Ed Farmer. They're going to see if Farmer can get the save. Let's see here. Ken Griffey will bat for the National League, only making his second at bat. 5-4 National League, bottom of the 9th. I thought this game was going to be over pretty quick, but the American League had other plans. Farmer will pitch to Griffey. Farmer, 4-3. That's a pitcher result. Against the lefty, that's a 16. It's going to be too high. It's a blank. Griffey, 3-1. Grounded to first. That'll be taken care of by Cooper, and he'll bring it to the bag, 1 out. Next batter will be Rose. He'll bat. The first base spot is 2 for 3. Rose will make his second appearance at the plate. Farmer will pitch. Farmer, 2-1, strikeout 6. That will just miss. Rose, 3-4, and that's a ground ball to third. That'll get picked up. That'll get picked up by Brett. Brett's got it. Throws to first. 2 down. And the last chance for the National League is the new catcher, and he will get to bat from the New York Mets, John Stearns. Stearns does not have any home runs. His mission is to get on base. Ed Farmer trying to close this game for the American League. Fans here at Dodger Stadium hoping Stearns can keep the game going. Farmer will deal. Farmer, 4-6. Error on a throw. Stearns, 1-3. And that's going to be an infield single. That's an infield single to second base. And Willie Randolph's error rating is an 8. That's a 2, and he's going to make a throwing error, and Stearns is going to go to second. You got to be kidding me. That's an infield single by Stearns. Randolph still tried to make a play, throws it wide. Stearns automatically makes second. That is a single and an E4. And now the batter is Cruz. Cruz has got some home run power. Cruz will bat. 2 outs. A big-time error. That's the first error on the American League. They had 2 in the game historically. But now Jose Cruz trying to bring Stearns in. 5-4 American League. Another great all-star game. Farmer will set up against Cruz. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 6th. Stearns stays where he is. Farmer will set up for Cruz. Fans here at Dodger Stadium hoping the game will continue. Farmer will pitch. Farmer, 5-4, walk. 17 is high. Cruz, 3-8. And Cruz is going to tie the game against the righty. It's going to be a double to right. Stearns will come in to score. Cruz to second base. This game is tied. Stadium cheers. Yay! RBI double by Jose Cruz. And this game is tied. And now coming up to bat from the Philadelphia Phillies, Michael Jack Schmidt. 9th inning magic strikes again. The third base spot is 0 for 3. Farmer, he will pitch to Schmidt. 2 men down, now bottom of the 9th. Another All-Star game to probably go into extras unless Schmidt does something. Farmer will set it up against Schmidt. Fans here at Dodger Stadium enjoying another crazy All-Star game. I always seem to have weird ones. Farmer, strategy roll. Nothing on the 5. Farmer will go ahead. He will pitch. Farmer, 7-4, walk. That's ball 4. He walks Schmidt. And now the batter is Concepcion, and he will get a chance to hit. This is only his second chance. Concepcion will bat. 2 men down. Cruz on at second, Schmidt on at first. Farmer will now pitch to Concepcion. Fans here wanting to see if Concepcion can get him in. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 7. Cruz on at second, Schmidt on at first. Farmer will go ahead. He will pitch. Farmer, 3-8. Wild pitch, 12. Yes! It's a wild pitch, and the runners will move up. Farmer uncorks a wild one, and they'll do it again. Now the question is, I think you put Concepcion on, but the problem is if I do that, I get to choose any batter in the National League lineup to try to, and I think Concepcion, I think you pitched to him with that 260 average. They're going to pitch to Concepcion. Farmer trying to get out of the jam. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 6. Cruz on at second. Schmidt on at Cruz on at third. Schmidt on at second. Farmer looking at a Concepcion. The fans here at Dodger Stadium hoping something happens. Farmer will deal. Farmer 4-7. And against the righty, it's going to be an automatic out. It's going to be a ground ball to short. That'll get picked up by Trammell, throws to first. And once again in the All-Star game, we've got free baseball. Free baseball. Free baseball here. Get your free baseball. 1 run, 2 hits, a walk and an error, and a wild pitch. And we got extras. We go to the 10th inning. Ghost runner rules are activated. Cecil Cooper will take over at second base. He will be the ghost runner. Tekulve, we're going to have a new pitcher as Tekulve is coming out, and a timeout as I reset the lineups. So give me a second here. I got to go ahead and reset the lineups for extras. And coming in to pitch once again will be J.R. Richard. Richard will go ahead and pitch again as he'll come in to pitch. As I will set up now as I set up the batters here. So let's see here. So 250, 78, 64, 76, 264, 264, 322. 304 and 321. Parker 295. So timeout here as I reset the lineups for the batters I want to bring in. And let's see what we got. All right, so the batting orders are reset. Now we got to bring in the pitchers. In this case, it's going to be by ERA. So 2-2-2. Shoot. No. Bear with me here, guys. Like I said, these All-Star games are always crazy. And again, this one's no different. Colby just came out, so he's coming. let's see. George Orta. Let's see. Fred Lynn will come over and take over in center field for George Orta. He will come back out. So Fred Lynn will start the top of the 10th here. Ghost runners are activated. This is an exhibition game. I really don't care who wins. So Cecil Cooper on at second. Richard is the pitcher. 3 runs in the top of the 9th for the American League. 1 run in the bottom of the 9th for the National League. Another crazy all-star game. J.R. Richard will pitch. Strategy rolls first. No bunt. Richard, 5-7. Strikeout plus. He got Lynn. They'll go ahead and strike out Lynn. And that's the first out. Reggie Jackson will take over in right field for Jim Rice. And Jackson will bat again. 1 out. Cooper still on at second. And nothing on the strat. No bunt. Richard will go ahead and deal. Richard, 2-3, walk, 10. That's ball 4. He walked Jackson. So Richard will walk Jackson. And now the next batter will be, we got left field coming up, and it will be Ricky Henderson. He will come up to bat again and play left. Left field spot is 0 for 3 with a walk. Cooper on at second, Jackson on at first. 1 out, infield double play. Strategy, nothing on the 7, no bunt. Richard will pitch. Richard, 7-4. Strikeout, 18. That will be too high. Henderson, 1-4. Ground ball to first. That's a 19. That's going to probably be a double play. 19, hit to first, -2 is 17. Richard +2 is a 19. And Ricky Henderson was not easy to double play, but he will do one there. That is a 3-6-3 double play, and the inning is over. And the American League doesn't get anything. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th. Farmer coming out of the game. And coming on to pitch for the American League again will be Steve Stone. He was the starter in this game. Pinch hitter coming in for Richard. He'll be done. And coming on to pinch hit will be Reggie Smith. It will be Dave Concepcion taking over at second for the Ghost Runner. If I can find him here again. Concepcion will take over at second. He was the last out. So Concepcion will be the Ghost Runner at second base. So a base hit will probably win this game. So Concepcion is the Ghost Runner. Reggie Smith's the batter. Bottom of the 10th, tied at 5. Fans here at Dodger Stadium enjoying this one here. Another crazy all-star game. Strategy roll. That is a 3. No bunt. Concepcion stays at second. Stone will pitch. Stone, 1-1. Strikeout got Smith. 1-1-1 across the board. And he got Smith on a K. 1 down. Next up is Lopes. And Lopes is going to come out of the game, and coming on to take over at second base and pinch hit will be Phil Garner. Garner has already been in the game. He will bat. The second base spot is 1 for 3, double and a walk. Concepcion on at second. Strategy roll. That is a 6, and nothing happening there. Stone will pitch to Garner. Stone, 3-7 against the righty. Strikeout. He got Garner. 2 down. 2 outs. Hendrick coming out of the game, and taking over in right field will be Cobra Dave Parker. Parker will come on. He is the center field spot. Actually, no, not Parker. My bad. Not Parker. It's center field. That's going to be Dale Murphy. Murphy will take over at center. The center field spot is 1 for 4. 2 men down. Concepcion on at second. The pitcher's keeping us where it is. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 10. Stone will pitch. Stone, 7-2. And strikeout 10. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. They can't get anything, either team. We got more for as good morning, good afternoon, good night. Stone strikes out the side. And we're going to the 11th. Stadium cheers. Yay! We'll go to the 11th inning. I thought this game was going to be over about a half hour ago. We're in the top of the 11th, tied at 5. Reggie Jackson is the ghost runner. No, I'm sorry. Henderson's the ghost runner. He made the last out. Henderson's the ghost runner. And the catcher will be Pudge, Carlton Fisk, new pitcher for the National League. And they're going to bring on, once again, lefty Steve Carlton. Carlton will come on to pitch here. Henderson, of course, has got good chances to steal third. He would need a 1 or a 2 to try to attempt steal third. But we'll run a strategy roll. And that is a 14 and nothing happening. Henderson stays at second base. Carlton will deal. Carlton, 3-5. Range play 11. That's a 6. Yes. Fisk, 5-5. It's a ground ball to third. That ball is going to be hit to Schmidt. His range is a 7, but I really don't have to roll because all range play rolls are an 8. That's going to be automatic. Does Henderson take third? No, he does not. Henderson stays at second base, and Fisk goes to first. It's out number 1. Because it doesn't matter, because all range play rolls are 8 for the same or both. I don't have to roll. Every 7 is going to be automatic, and Schmidt will make the play. So a ground ball to third. And now that'll bring up Nettles to play third base. Third base spot is 1 for 4. Henderson still on at second, and that is a 16. He'll stay put. Lefty will pitch. Lefty, 6-4. Strikeout, 17 will be too high. Nettles, 4-4. Grounder to second base. That'll get picked up by Garner. Garner throws to first for the out. Henderson moves to third. So Henderson goes to third. And now here's Trammell, and Trammell will bat. Trammell hit the game-tying, hit a big bomb in the top of the 9th inning. Henderson on at third. Carlton will pitch to Trammell. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 4. Lefty will pitch. Lefty, 7-2. Wild pitch, 15. Yes, Carlton unleashes a wild pitch. Henderson will score at 6-5. Stadium cheers. Yay! A wild pitch will bring in Henderson. And now it is 6-5 American League, but the bases are empty. And now Carlton will pitch to Trammell with 2 outs. Lefty, 7-3. Hit by pitch, -2. Trammell is a 6. That'll make him a 4. That's a 5. He just missed him. Trammell, 2-6. And it's a fly ball to center field. And getting there will be Murphy. And Murphy will make the catch and retire the side. 1 run on no hits and a wild pitch. And we go to the bottom of the 11th. Dale Murphy made the last out. He will be the ghost runner. New pitcher for the Orioles as Stone coming out. And it will be Larry Gura coming back in. So Gura will pitch. And we need a batter here for the National League, and it's the right fielder, and it will be Dave Parker. The right field spot is 0 for 4. 6-5, bottom of the 11th. Strategy roll. And that is a 14, no bunt. Murphy stays at second. Gura will pitch. Gura, 3-8, error on a grounder. Parker, 4-6. That is a ground ball. It's a ground ball to first. That ball is into Cooper. His error rating is a 3. That's a 9. He'll make the play. Gura will come over and receive it, and that will be out number 1. Murphy will move to third. So 1 out, infield now playing in. And we'll see a new first baseman, and it will be Keith Hernandez. He will come up to bat. The first base spot is 2 for 4, 2 doubles. Murphy on at third. The infield is in. Gura going up against Hernandez. Strategy roll. And nothing on the 8. Gura will deal. Gura, 3-3. Hit by pitch, -2. No, the 18 is high. Hernandez, 7-8. It's a fly ball to left field. His sacrifice fly rating is a 9. That's a 16. He won't bring in Murphy that way. That's out number 2. Will Murphy try to come in on his own? 2-6. And advances if he's a runner of 6 to 7. Murphy is only a 4. He holds 2 down. Not fast enough. Murphy, he would have scored if he was a 6 or a 7. Murphy holds at third, 2 down. On a fly out the left, and the last chance for the National League will be the catcher, and we will bring up once again Mr. Johnny Bench. So Johnny Bench will come up here. Murphy on at third. The catcher spot is 1 for 4, a single and an extra error, an extra base on an error. Murphy on at third. They will pitch to Bench. Gura trying to end this All-Star game. American League leads 6-5 in the bottom of the 11th. Another crazy matchup. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 10. Gura will pitch. Gura, 6-7. Error on a booted ball. Bench. 1-8, and it's a base hit to center field. The game is tied. Hit to center field. Fred Lynn's error rating is a 3. That's a 2, and he's going to boot it also. So Murphy will come in to score. It's an error on a booted ball. So does Bench take second? That's a 4. No. Bench will hold at first base, and it's tied at 6. Stadium cheers. Yay! Bench goes ahead and gets it. It's an error on a booted ball. And I want to check. I don't think, actually, I think he goes to second automatically. Let's see. No, they advance 1 extra base. So Bench is automatically on second. That's right, because it was an error on a booted ball. But Bench just couldn't take third. So Bench is on at second. And now the batter is supposed to be Cruz. But they're going to bring in Kong Kingman because Cruz has batted twice. So here comes Kong to try to win the game here for the National League. That's an error. That is an E. What is that? That's an E8. Second error on the American League. They had 2 errors in the game. And now this game is tied here in 11. Bench on at second. Gura can't believe it. And now tied at 6 in the bottom of the 11th inning. Strategy roll. And nothing on the 12. Bench on at second. Gura will go ahead and pitch. Gura, 6-3 against the righty. It's a blank. Kingman, 3-7. And it's a fly ball to left field. Getting over there is Henderson. He will make the catch, and we've got more free baseball. Free baseball. Free baseball here. Get for free baseball. 1 run on 1 hit in an error. And we're going to the 12th. On to the 12th inning. Alan Trammell made the last out. He will be the ghost runner at second base. And we have a pinch hitter coming in for Gura. And the new batter is going to be Rod Carew. Carlton is done. We'll see a new pitcher for the National League as well. And it is going to be... It's going to be Jerry Rolls-Royce. So Royce will come back into the game. And Trammell on at second. Top of the 12, tied at 6. More baseball. Trammell on at second. Strategy roll. That's an 18. And Carew gets the hit and run. No bunt. And we don't hit and run with runners on second. So Royce will go ahead and pitch. Royce. 8-3, strikeout, 15 is high. Carew, 2-2, and that is a ground ball to short. That'll get picked up by Concepcion. Throw goes to first for the out. And Trammell, good speed, will make third. So Carew is done there. Infield coming in. On a ground out to short. And the next batter is Randolph. He'll stay in the game. Trammell on at third. 1 out. Top of the 12, tied at 6. Strategy roll. That's a 3. Nothing happening there. Trammell stays where he is. Royce will deal. Midlife crisis joins us here at Dodger Stadium. Royce, 5-1. Strikeout. No. Randolph, 3-3. And against the lefty, it's a fly ball to right field. And getting over there is going to be Parker. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Sacrifice fly of 8. That's an 18. He won't score Trammell on his own. Does Trammell come in to score? A 3-2. A 3-2 advances of 2 to 7. Trammell is a 6. He will come in to score. 7-6 American League. Stadium cheers. Yay! So they do get the ghost runner in. Sacrifice fly. And now the batter is Cooper. And we may see another batter. Let's see. Cooper. Let's see. Am I going to let him hit here? Yes, I will. Cooper will stay in the game. But there are now 2 outs. Royce will pitch to Cooper. Now 7-6 American League. Royce, 6-4, strikeout 6, and cold strike 3 on Cooper. He got him, and the inning is over. But 1 run on no hits, a sacrifice fly brings him in. 7-6 American League. We go to the bottom of the 12th. Dave Kingman is the ghost runner for the National League. The American League needs a pitcher. And it is going to be Tommy John. He'll come back out again. So John will pitch. And Kingman on at second. As he is the ghost. And Michael Jack Schmidt is the batter. Kingman on at second, 7-6. Schmitty is the batter. The third base spot is 0 for 3 with a walk. Strategy roll for Kingman. That is a 3. He'll stay put. John will pitch. John, 4-8. Strikeout. Got him. He gets Schmidt. Schmidt goes down on strikes, 1 down. And we will have a new shortstop coming on for the National League. It'll be Bill Russell, as Concepcion is done, as he'll go back on the bench. Bill Russell, who got this scoring off with him with a bomb. So bottom of the 12th inning, 7-6 American League, another crazy all-star game. John will pitch to Russell. Kingman on at second. Strategy roll, that's a 1. Kingman not going anywhere. John will pitch. John, 4-3 against the righty. It's a blank. Russell, 5-4. Base hit past third. Will Kingman score? And no, he won't. He'll have to hold. Russell gets a single. Kingman moves over to third base. And we'll see a pinch hitter now for Jerry Royce coming out. Infield's going to play in. And it will be Steve Garvey. Garvey will come out to bat again. Kingman, not very good speed. He had to hold at third base on a single pass short. Past third. So now we'll see what happens here. So infield is in. Go at tying run again at third. Russell on at first. John will pitch to Garvey. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 9. John will pitch. John, 6-5. It's a blank. Garvey, 2-3. And it's a ground ball to short. Kingman, that's a grounder to short. The infield is in. And a ground ball to short. Kingman is a 3. So a -1 is the chart. That's a 16. So it'll be a 15. And grounded to short. The runner on third is out. And the batter is safe on a fielder's choice. Because Kingman was 3 and removed the -1 to a 0, that was a 16. That would have scored the run. But because of that, the runner on third is out and the batter is safe. 2 down. Russell to second, Garvey to first, Kingman thrown out at the plate. And now the last chance for the National League is going to be, we're going to use Dave Winfield. Runners at first and second. Russell at second, Garvey on at first. John, because the infield was in, made a great play. Kingman just not enough speed as he's thrown out at the plate, but 2 outs. Russell at second, Garvey at first. Fans here at Dodger Stadium enjoying this all-star game. Crazy. John will go ahead, settle in, strategy roll, and nothing on the 18. John will pitch. John, 7-3 against a righty. It's a blank. Winfield, 7-7, and it's popped up. Pop fly ball to short. Alan Trammell coming into the outfield. He's got a beat on it. Takes a couple of steps left. Puts out his glove. Blop. And the ball falls into it. That's your game. The American League will outlast the National League. In 12 innings, they win it tonight, 7-6. Stadium cheers. Yay! No runs on a hit. And the American League will pull it out of their ass and win it tonight, 7-6, in another crazy all-star game here at RJL Network. Every time I play an all-star game, it's never what you... Every time I play an all-star game, it just never goes the way that I think. Final line score coming up. For the American League, 7 runs on only 5 hits. I still can't believe it. 7 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. For the National League, 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. The winning pitcher is Larry Gura. He'll wind up with the win. Jerry Rolls Royce will take the loss. And Tommy John's going to pick up the save. Who do I give the MVP to? I think that who do you give the MVP to? Who do you guys think? Who gets the MVP? Who do I give the MVP to in this game? Who gets the All-Star MVP? Does anyone have a problem if I give it to Alan Trammell for the big-time bomb that he hit in the 9th inning? Does anybody have an issue if I give it to Trammell for the big-time home run that put the American League ahead? Does anybody here have an issue if I give it to Trammell? Because I'm going to give it to him. The MVP of this All-Star game, I'm going to give it to Alan Trammell for the Detroit Tigers. He hit a big 2-run bomb in the top of the 9th inning, which pretty much launched this game into extras. So for the American League, I'm going to give it to Alan Trammell. I think he deserves it for a big-time home run that propelled the American League to allow them to win this All-Star game. So I think that's what we got. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave before I say that, tomorrow night, no baseball once again as the All-Star break comes to an end. I will return on Wednesday night as we begin the second half of the 1980 season. The Boston Red Sox taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Mike Torres for the Red Sox, Reggie Cleveland for the Brewers. That'll be Wednesday night here on the network. Be there or be square. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out the turnstiles. I think this game deserved it. Subscribe if you're not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. We'll see you guys Wednesday night. The American League looked like they were done. They were down 4-0, but they pull it out of their ass and win it over the National League in 12 innings. Another crazy All-Star game, 7-6. We'll see you guys Wednesday night for the second half of the 1980 season.